guys, so today we're working with an endurance athlete who has had a fracture to her foot. This occurred recently, and we've already done a little bit of work in the last couple of weeks, but we're going to be continuing this work to be able to facilitate the healing process. And in particular, today we're going to use a device that uses a certain kind of frequency at which it moves to help to relax the tissue. So, Paige, thanks so much for being here today. I'm so sorry that you're here under these auspices. But can you just remind the audience what it was that happened with your foot so that they get the picture of it?
Sure. So it's my right foot, and I was doing a little informal time trial race and standing on the start line and took off, and about 10 steps into the run, I felt very sharp pain in this part of my foot right under on the top of the foot, and it was impossible for me to run more than 10 or 15 steps. And
got it. And so you've subsequently, we evaluated and determined there was both some bone and some soft tissue damage. X-rays have corroborated that, and we're now in the healing process. So one of the things that we recognize that occurs with fractures in the foot in particular, because we have all of our weight bearing down on that, and it's pretty challenging or nearly impossible to not walk at all, is that a lot of the other tissues in and around the area where the fracture occurred can become especially tight. And when that happens, then we start to get altered gait patterns of how someone would walk, and that can provoke a variety of other injuries or other kinds of issues in the surrounding areas. So while we're not going to work immediately over where the fracture had occurred, because we want to allow for that to be able to heal as properly, and by vibration we would potentially be loosening that, but we're going to work in the subsequent surrounding areas to help that out. So what I'd like for you to do is I want you to just put your foot here, and we're going to actually use this device here. It's called rapid release, and this oscillates at a specific frequency that will help to relax and release some of the tissue. And so in particular, we're going to be working on the posterior part of the lower leg here, because that pulls on all of the tissue around here, and we want to give that slack and the ability for this to be able to heal up properly. So we're going to start this. It's a little noisy, so hopefully you can hear through this.
what?
And we're just going to slowly work on this tissue. And what this is doing is it's going to help to relax and release the gastroc and the Achilles and some of the soleus and some of the other tissue in the posterior compartment here to give it a full opportunity to be able to heal. We would continue to work on this all the way up right behind into the knee where the attachments are for these muscles and ligaments and tendons that are back here, and giving that a full chance to be able to heal. We may need to do this for 10 or 15 minutes to give it a full release of this tissue so that she can return to a proper gait and walking. But for today's purposes for the video, I'm just going to show you a moment of this here. And again, we would work all the way around, and we may even work onto the anterior part here as well, because this is how we lift the foot up, and these attachments come into the same area where the actual fracture occurred. So as this comes down and attaches here, it's very close to that area, so we'd want to make sure that that was also loosened up. So guys, this is just yet one other of the ways in which we help our patients, and in particular in this case, endurance athletes who have a fracture, to be able to heal properly. Check some of the other videos out if you want to see some of the other things that we've done to be able to assist in this process as well. Thanks, guys.